everyone, we are here to discuss the lipids with my group mate, Yuan Palero. So, definition. The word lipid is derived from the Greek word lipos, means fat. Lipids are heterogeneous group of organic compounds that are insoluble in water and soluble in non-polar organic solvents. Organic compounds are generally yung mga contains carbon and hydrogen molecules that are insoluble in water, hindi natutunaw sa tubig, soluble in non-polar organic solvent, natutunaw sa mga non-polar, which is the acetone, alcohol, and benzene. The characteristics of a lipid. Lipids are made up of carbon-hydrogen bonds. They are hydrocarbons. They may contain other elements like oxygen and sometimes nitrogen in the case of phospholipids, and phosphorus too. But most they contain CH bonds, and CH bonds are non-polar, which means they mostly hydrophobic. That is, they don't mix well with water. Hydro means water and phobic means fear, so water fearing. Useful for energy storage. Example situation is pag hindi ka kumain more than a day or so, our body burns out the carbs, and the next thing na hanapin na consist of our body natin is the lipids, the triglycerides, and uses enzymes such as lipase to break down triglycerides into fatty acids and glycerol. So, pwede i-derive sa energy natin from those molecules. Our body can go days without food as long as may water. They are twice better than carbohydrates sa pag-store ng energy. Provide thermal insulation and protection. So, lipids also provide thermal and insulation and protection. So, they are very useful in the winter when it's get cold. They are made from two molecules, glycerol and fatty acids. Glycerol has a 3 hydroxyl molecules, and the fatty acid has a long chain of hydrocarbons and a functional group of carboxylic acid. We have 3 types of lipids: the simple, compound, and derived. In the simple lipids, we have fats and oils and waxes. Fats and oils. Both types of compounds are triglycerols because they are ester groups composed of the 3 fatty acids joined to glycerol and trihydroxyl alcohol. They have a characteristic of colorless, odorless, and tasteless. In the same temperature of 25 Celsius, the lipid fats are solid while the oils are liquid. This difference in melting points reflect difference in the degree of unsaturation of the constituent fatty acids. Fats and oils here which yields fatty acids and glycerol upon hydrolysis. So, this is the chemical composition of fats and oil. It has glycerol part and the fatty acids. Diba sabi, glycerol has a 3-hydroxyl group, the OH. Pero dito, wala na yung H. Then, the fatty acids, sabi, it has the carboxylic functional group, the carbonyl and the hydroxyl group. Pero dito, wala na yung hydroxyl, carbonyl na lang yung natira. So, we need to derive this kung paano naging ganito using the hydrolysis. So here we have the glycerol and fatty acids chemical composition. Chemical composition of glycerol has a 3-hydroxyl group, the OH, and the fatty acids has the carboxyl group, the COOH. So R denotes as the long chain of hydrocarbons kasi hindi na siya magkakasya kung lalagay. So in the process of hydrolysis, dehydration of synthesis reactions, we're gonna lose water. This molecule will be dehydrated due to the loss of water. So matatanggal itong tatlong H2O molecules na magbibigay sa atin ng pinaka-general formula of the fats plus 3H2O. Next are waxes. Wax is an ester of a long-chain alcohol and the fatty acids. The acids and alcohols normally found in waxes have chains of the order of 12 to 34 carbon atoms in length. Waxes, which yield fatty acids and long-chain alcohols upon hydrolysis. This is the general structure of waxes. And we will derive it in these two components, the fatty acid and alcohol. In the dehydration process or synthesis, the removing water, the H2O molecule will remove and will produce the general structure of waxes. So in summary, fats and oils, both types of compounds are called triacylglycerols because they are esters composed of 3 fatty acids joined to glycerol and trihydroxyl alcohol. The difference is on the basis of their physical states and room temperature. It is customary to call a lipid a fat if it's solid at 25 Celsius and oil if it is a liquid at the same temperature. Pure fats and oils are colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Solid triglycerols or fats have high proportion of saturated fatty acids, while liquid triglycerols or oils have high proportion of unsaturated fatty acids. Waxes. Wax is an ester of a long-chain alcohol and a fatty acid. The acids and alcohols normally found in waxes have a chain of an order of 12 to 34 carbon atoms in length.
So, good day everyone. Yuan Palero, and we're gonna talk about compound lipids. So, compound lipids, also called as conjugated lipids. When we say compound lipids, from the word itself, compound, it is a type of lipid that contains additional substances beside fatty acids and alcohol. So, what are those additional substances? So, it could be phosphorus from phospholipids, carbohydrates from glycolipids, sulfur from sulfolipids, what else? Amino groups from aminolipids, or proteins from lipoproteins. So in this topic, we're only gonna discuss about the two most common kind of compound lipids. So, those are phospholipids and glycolipids, and we're only gonna talk about their function, content, and their general structure. So, number one, phospholipids serves a very important function by surrounding and protecting internal cell components, and they are present in large amounts in nerve tissue, brain, liver, kidney, pancreas, and heart. And phospholipids can be classified into two kinds pa. So those are glycerophospholipids or sphingolipids. So it depends upon their alcohol content. If their alcohol content is glycerol, so glycerophospholipids, and kapag naman sphingosine, sphingolipids. So in the slide. Phospholipids is a compound lipids which yield fatty acids, excuse me, glycerol, amino alcohol sphingosine, phosphoric acid, and nitrogen-containing alcohol upon hydrolysis. So, it contains phosphoric acid which makes it unique from other compound lipids. And nitrogen-containing alcohol. So, meron daw siyang nitrogen containing alcohol upon hydrolysis na take note of that. Malalaman natin yan mamaya sa general structure. So, ano nga ba ang hydrolysis? Hydrolysis is the process of breaking down bonds of a particular substance into two parts using water. So, this is the general structure of a phospholipid. So, it's hydrophilic part, choline, which take note, after niya mag-undergo ng hydrolysis, magiging nitrogen-based na siya. And it has phosphate and glycerol, which is triglycerol. And the hydrophobic part, the long chain of fatty acids. So, that is the phospholipids. Next, the glycolipids plays an important role in several biological functions such as recognition and cell signaling events. So they are found in an extracellular phase of eukaryotic cell membrane and to facilitate cell-to-cell interactions. And the other function, they also act as receptors for viruses and other pathogens to enter cells. So, in the slide, glycolipids, a compound lipid that yield fatty acids, sphingosine or glycerol, and the carbohydrate upon hydrolysis. So, ang pinagkaiba naman niya kay phospholipids, after niya mag-undergo ng hydrolysis, meron siyang carbohydrate. So, yun naman yung naging unique sa kanya. So, this is the general structure of a glycolipids. So, the basic structure of a glycolipid consists of a mono or oligosaccharide group attached to a sphingolipid or a glycerol group with one or two fatty acids. These make up the classes of glycosphingolipids and glycoglycerolipids respectively. And glycolipids interact and bind to the lipid bilayer through the hydrophobic nature of the lipid tail, which anchors it to the surface of the plasma membrane. So that is the basic structure ng glycolipids. Next. Summary. So, phospholipids, it serves a very important function by surrounding and protecting internal cell components. Contains other substance which is phosphoric acid or phosphorus. They may be glycerophospholipids or sphingophospholipid depending upon the alcohol group present. Glycolipids plays an important role in several biological functions such as recognition and cell signaling events. Contains other substance which is carbohydrates, and they may also be glyceroglycolipids or sphingoglycolipids depending upon the alcohol group present. So just like phospholipids, meron din siyang two kinds, glyceroglycolipids and sphingoglycolipids. Parang sa phospholipids lang din, depending upon its alcohol content. So that is the compound lipids. So now let's talk about derived lipids. So what are derived lipids? Hydrolysis product of simple and compound lipids is called derived lipids. They include fatty acid, glycerol, sphingosine, and steroid derivatives. So, derived lipids differ only from other types of lipids because it has steroid derivatives. So, what is steroid derivatives? They are penetrant structures that are quite different from lipids made up of fatty acids. So, yung dalawang naunang types ng lipids, yung hydrophobic part nila, yun yung fatty acids. So, dito naman sa may derived lipids, meron siyang penetrant structures, which is yun yung yung 6-membered ring na mamaya makikita natin sa mga mga general structure ng mga kinds ng derived lipids na meron siyang 6-membered ring. So, next. Steroids. Steroids are derived lipids. They may be recognized by their cyclopentane per hydropenantrin ring tetracycle skeleton. It consists of 3 6-membered ring, A, B, C, and 1 5-membered ring as shown in the diagram. So, ayan sa may general structure niya, siya ay 3 6-membered and the other ring is 5-member naman. So, it helps control metabolism, inflammation, immune functions, salt and water balance, sexual characteristics, development, and the ability to withstand illness and injury. So, malaking natutulong na steroid sa katawan natin. So, next. Number 2, sterols. Also known as steroid alcohols. Are a subgroup of steroids with a hydroxyl group at the 3 position of the A ring. They are empipathic, as the hydroxyl group on the A ring is polar and the rest of the aliphatic chain is non-polar. So makikita natin yung mamaya. Types, phytosterols, example, stigmasterol, and susterols, example niya is cholesterol. So next slide. Yan. Ito yung unang kind ng sterol. Cholesterol is widely distributed in all cells and is a major component of cell membrane and lipoproteins. So, sa structure niya, ayun, meron din siyang 3 6-membered ring. So, lagi niyo tatandaan yun. Cholesterol is a C27 compound with molecular formula C27H46O with a hydroxyl group at C3 and a double bond between C5 and C6. An aliphatic side chain is attached at C17 and 5-methyl groups. So, yan ang una, cholesterol. So, next. Ergosterol is a sterol found in cell membranes of fungi protozoa, serving many of the same functions that cholesterol serves in animal cells. Ergosterol is a provitamin form of vitamin D. Exposure to ultraviolet light causes a chemical reaction that produces vitamin D2. Biological functions. Ergosterol is a biological precursor of vitamin D2. In mushroom cultivation, after harvest, mushrooms are irradiated to increase their vitamin D content. Fungi are also grown industrially for extraction of ergosterol and synthesis of vitamin D. So, ang content naman ng ergosterols ay vitamin D. Next, pangatlong kind ng sterol, stigmasterol, also known as Wulzen, anti-stiffness factor, is a plant sterol. Stigmasterol is an unsaturated phytosterol occurring in a number of medicinal herbs. Stigmasterol is also found in various vegetables, legumes, nuts, seeds, and unpasteurized milk. Applications. Stigmasterol is used as a precursor in the manufacture of semi-synthetic progesterone, a valuable human hormone that plays an important physiological role in the regulatory and tissue rebuilding mechanism. Act as an intermediate in the biosynthesis of androgens, estrogens, and or cetogens. So ito naman stigmasterol, it has something to do with our sexual hormones. So yun. Thank you for listening. Yan naman ang mga derived lipids, and that's all about lipids. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.